Welcome, Main Joe.
Good to be back on this beautiful evening.
Yeah.
In June.
Beautiful June evening. This is a first for us again. We're casting on a Monday. Never done that before.
Yep. At Mojo Studio, coming live and direct. To my right, I have Mojo. Good to see you. I'm a little out of practice. I just hit my microphone stand. Right in front of me is Hojo. Welcome, Hojo.
Thanks for having me.
And to my left is... Help me out again?
Daijo.
Daijo.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. So, Mojo, would you like to tell us a little bit more about our two guests?
Would love to. We've got essentially a generation gap going on tonight. It's one of our promises to you, the home listener, that we're going to invite many different people, get their viewpoints, see what they think. What are they good at? What are they not good at? All that kind of good stuff. And
yeah, it's like we want to introduce people to the different perspectives because we talk about, what's going to change this world, what's going to make this world more cohesive, more harmonious, and it's getting to know other people, getting to know their perspectives, where they're coming from, and why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly right. And to support that, to spread how much fun it is to do a podcast. And you can be 80 years old or 8, and you can have a ball. And, So please, listeners, consider starting up your own. But,
Hojo and Daijo are both college students here in Utah.
Yep, this is correct. They're both 19 right now, I believe.
Right, yeah.
Daijo turns 20 in November, and Hojo, I'm not sure.
September.
September. Okay. Hojo studies up in Boise, and he's down here for the summer.
Yes.
Daijo, he studies up at Weber, and he's studying computers, and he actually works for me. I pay him a very decent, livable wage.
Yeah,
nice.
It's on the edge.
That's awesome.
And one last thing that probably should be mentioned up front is Daijo is the eldest son of one of my dear friends since middle school, Dojo,
who our listeners have met.
Yes, yeah. He gave us a great couple of segments.
He cracked some good jokes, too.
Yeah, he did.
Funny
He
guy.
was funny. So, intros are done. You asked before we started if I had anything in mind, and I do have one.
Okay.
I'd like to...
Shoot. I got one, too, but it can happen in a later segment or whatever.
Okay. Or maybe mine will segue into yours.
Probably will.
Yeah. How often we hear on social media that millennials are so spoiled and so expecting of everything, and I don't want to go through that whole thing again. And now we have two of them right here.
I just want to go on record to say I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I think it's stupid as fuck.
Yeah, I agree. It's been around for generations too. It's not just now.
Yeah, it's like they haven't met the people I've met. It's like, and these guys are both going to school, plus they're working. That's what I did when I was their age. I mean, nothing's changed. Why? I don't know why the media's got to make them out to be some kind of monster. It's
lazy,
like, again, they're trying to separate us, trying to find these wedge issues, and it's ridiculous, in my opinion.
Exactly right. Yeah. Hojo, Daijo, you guys probably don't hear it so much because nobody wants to insult you to your face.
Right.
Do you guys hear this a lot, though?
But it's on the
Millennials
media.
Are lazy and...
Oh, on the media. Yeah, you'll hear it quite
Yeah.
often. Millennials suck.
Well, I don't think we're millennials anymore. I think we're the next generation after that.
They probably haven't even come up with a name yet.
Yeah. They gotta come up with a name to label you so they can divide us again.
Crazy.
Crazy. Well, like we said, it's been going on forever. The younger generation's always been crap.
I mean, when I was that age, I don't remember them coming down on us for that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
When I hear, these young people today, our country's going straight to hell, and I think, how long has our country been going to hell without ever getting there?
What are we? What are they inheriting from us? Here, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's one of the things I kind of wanted to get their perspective on. I mean, they're both the voting age, right? Have you guys ever voted in an election yet?
I haven't. I wasn't able to.
Strike one.
Yeah.
No, strike one. He just got done saying he missed it. He missed the cutoff. What are you talking about?
Well, let's turn to them for a moment.
Yeah, let's do that.
Please.
What do you guys think of the world you're inheriting? We've got this dude in office. The president is kind of off the hook a little bit, maybe a lot, depending on your perspective. And we've got climate change going on that doesn't look too pretty right now. We're not doing too great as far as addressing it at all, really.
No plans. There's no plans for it.
The Republican Party isn't even sure it's a thing.
Yeah, very true.
So where do you guys fall on the state of the world today?
Well, I don't know. I feel like the individual doesn't really have much control over it, so there's no use worrying about it. You just gotta live your life.
There's no use worrying about anything. I agree with that.
That's not a bad attitude to have, I think. Like you say, you got to just take care of yourself. And
Well, worry is just a bad thing to do about anything.
No, I absolutely agree with that. I think as the individual, we're not going to make a change, but the people who are passionate about climate change, whatever, the people who want to make the change, more power to them. Let them stress about it, because if that's what they love, more power to you.
And if they come up with some great ideas, then I'll support them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe even volunteer once a month or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys ever do any volunteer work of any kind?
Yes, sir.
What was that, Hojo?
Let's see. We both would go down to the retirement center.
Yeah,
We did
back in
some
high
volunteer
school.
work there.
What'd you get busted for?
No, we need to clear our absences from skipping all the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I asked if you volunteered. That's not volunteering.
Fair.
Well, we didn't get paid, so.
you were paying off your debt to society.
Yeah, the truth.
Which center was it? The one right down here, down the road, or downtown somewhere?
Don't say the name.
Yeah.
Over
Yonder.
yonder, yeah.
South of here. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
So how do you feel about your job prospects going forward? I mean, you're doing programming, right? You're studying
Right,
programming, and you're thinking about going that direction. And
Yep.
is that because that's where the jobs are, or that's what you're interested in, or a little bit of both?
It's a little mix of both on that.
Yeah, and it's fun and easy, so.
Yeah.
So far.
And you don't have to pull weeds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
manual
That's my
labor
job
is
for
what
now.
killed it.
Well, and yeah, one of the reasons I went into the area of the field is because I didn't want to use my back to make my living, because I knew my back would only last so long,
Yeah.
and I wanted to use my brain more so than my back. I figured it would last a little bit longer. I think I made the right call.
Yeah, you can use, when you're young like this, you can use your back.
Exactly. I have a friend who's like 56 and he builds houses for a living. And
man.
and he barely makes a living wage. It's crazy because he has no benefits, no retirement.
And he's got to pay workers.
He's making, I think, maybe $20 an hour.
Yeah.
And it's just nuts. And he's getting older, and his back is hurting him, his wrist is hurting him, and he can't take any days off to let him heal because he'll miss out on that money. He's got a house payment, car payment.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. So I don't recommend going in a field where you got to use your back if you can avoid that. Or just
Well,
make it temporary, a stepping stone to something else.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Be a mule until you're like 25, and then use your brain to make a living.
Preserve
Much
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, I just offered Hojo a job right before we
Yeah.
started here.
Picking weeds.
Yeah.
Doing all the manual labor.
And you can see there's a rich field out there.
I got my work cut out for me.
Cool. So, yeah, I agree. There are some, well, not millennials until the next label comes up.
You're right.
There are some that are going to be lazy, loser, layabouts.
Always
you know?
are.
Yeah, there is every generation. Focusing on these two, I don't know as much about Hojo, but I know if he's got a good friend like Daijo, then he's got to have some great qualities. And Daijo, it comes over and he works on my website and does some good programming, and he shows some real creativity. And then afterwards, he'll whip out his latest math book that he went and checked out for fun.
Well, that's something I had never done.
Yeah, and then we'll open to a page and go, oh yeah, that's where you do these certain assemblies and the space can be moved over with the points not being quite in the set. You see what I mean? See what I'm talking about? And I go, yeah, I remember that.
Vaguely remember that.
And then right after that, he'll kick my butt in a game of chess, and then I send him on his way with, so that to me is not a lazy layabout millennial.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, he's a better guitar player than I'll ever be.
Likewise. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Welcome, Daijo.
So one of the things we asked your dad when he was here was how he learned to play guitar. And he gave us a story about this guy on YouTube that I think myself
Schwartz,
and
Marty
Pijo,
Schwartz.
we all learned guitar songs from him, and I thought that was a pretty neat story. And he said the reason he learned guitar is because he thought it was something he could hopefully pass on to his kids. So I was wondering if you could tell us the story of how you learned to play and why you learned to play, and something along those lines.
How old were you, and what was your first guitar?
Okay, so I think I was about 12. I saw my dad playing guitar. I figured I'm just gonna kick his ass.
And that didn't take long, did it?
Yeah, that's about it.
We cut and dry.
Well, was it YouTube that you got the music from, or did you learn by ear and you could just pick it up and play along with YouTube videos, or?
It was just tabs off of a website.
But not necessarily YouTube, just
just
was it
wherever you could find them.
Yeah, okay. I usually end up on that Ultimate Guitar Tabs site.
Yeah.
And they have the best.
It's okay to mention things like that.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, because
okay.
they're so ubiquitous. I'll explain that word to you guys later.
Appreciate it.
So do you play chords? Do you play tab?
I try to stay away from the chords, like the
Interesting.
chord strumming songs, just because they're kind of repetitive. But well, I don't know. It's just
So
just something to do.
it's just something to do. So you're not that interested in taking your music further, or I don't know, even finding a jam group. I mean, I know you've jammed with us a couple times, not nearly
Right.
enough, but
Not
you don't jam with your friends. You don't break it out at the bonfires or
Oh no.
at the parties. You don't go to open mics or anything like that.
I just haven't practiced in too long to pull that out.
Do you have it on a guitar stand in your room, or do you have it in a case in a closet?
There's one in the case in the basement, but yeah.
Where's your Martin?
Oh,
Is that the one?
It's out in the front room.
Okay, so it's accessible then.
Yeah.
okay. I was gonna say, like, you got to keep them accessible if you're gonna play. 'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, out of sight, out of mind, man.
Yeah.
And I keep mine right by it. You know, if I need a break from programming, I say, time for a little strum. I'm a hummer and a strummer. That's kind of what I like to do. I have managed to figure out how to jam along and play the fretboard a little bit,
Oh, nice.
but I can't read tablature really. I find it too confusing. But
All I can do is watch somebody do it on YouTube and then repeat what they do. I can't read anything. You know?
guitar chords, even. I mean,
Yeah, it was where the dots are on the on the strings.
Yeah.
You know, I can make those shapes. Yeah, but in terms of reading music, even reading
yeah, I
tabs,
can't read music.
Yeah.
Yeah, tabs either. I can't do it. Don't know why.
But Manjo is like our engine for the jams. Is
The strumming.
The strummer.
You kind of keep the beat and play the chords. There's only like 4 chords per song. It's pretty easy.
Keep it simple.
If it's easy enough, I can hum along too. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, one of the-
Hojo. Whoops.
Yeah,
I
so
was going to jump over to Hojo.
I was going to bring Hojo into this.
He's named after one of my favorite piano players of all time.
Yeah.
I have his CD in my car right now. Maybe I'll loan it to you.
Yeah.
Because this 19-year-old here, people doesn't know who Hojo is. I'm talking about Howard Jones, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But we thought it was a fit name for Hojo over here. So, do you play a musical instrument? Do you?
Yeah, I play piano for like probably 8 years now.
Oh,
Played
he said
piano
shit.
for a while.
Marker. No.
Damn it. No, I played piano for about 8 years, and I played bass the past 2 years. I kind of started picking it up, so I'm still working on the bass, but
That was the segue I was going to bring Hojo in.
Oh, that's cool.
It was July of. It was last year, I think.
Yep.
Was it last summer when we did that blues jam with Check Joe? One of the two Check Joes. The lead guitarist, Check Joe. And it was.
Oh yeah, you showed me the video of
I think
that.
I did, yeah. The video was dark, but the audio
Yeah,
was
audio was good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's the best blues jam. We do a lot of blues. You know, we'll get the harp in there and some guitar, and we'll make up lyrics. And it was just 2 guitars going at it, and it was the best blues jam I've ever seen. And there's Hojo in the back, just slap at the bass. And you know, as soon as I turned my camera to him, he switched to his thumb. He had to do the thumb slap.
oh, I had to get it in there. I'm a performer.
It's a difficult technique to learn, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the 10 Commandments from Bass Joe.
Yeah.
You never slap with the thumb. It's blasphemy.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like commandment number 6.
oh, I didn't know that.
About thy fingers are thy way of truth.
See, I play the bass with a pick because I can't even do or my thumb. One time I played the bass so long at P. Joe's house that I gave myself a big old blister on my thumb. Those heavy strings are brutal. I was having too much fun. Though.
That big black acoustic bass he has?
No. He has that other I think it's an Ibanez black bass. That I was
a
playing.
5-string.
No, it's just it's basic bass. But
Sorry, I'm getting us off track here.
no worries, no worries. So Hojo, you picked up the bass. You played piano for 8 years, so I'm assuming you can read music, which is awesome.
Yep.
Why did you pick up the bass? Are you playing with friends? Just
I mean, my dad just he found one at a pawn shop for a cheap price and picked it up. And he was like, I'm not going to play this. Like, I just got it because it looks cool. But if you want to learn it, more power to you. So I just started looking up. We'd go over and jam at his house. And
so you guys do jam together sometimes.
it was a while ago. Yeah. It was back in high school. But we'd pick those up. And then I started watching videos of like Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers talking about like his slap bass technique and how he warms up every day. It's like, damn, I got to figure this out. So I started
Well, he improvised along with Daijo and Check Joe too. He
That's
he
very
was just
cool.
kind of going up and down, just not being an imposition, but also not losing track of the beat and the rhythm. And it was just beautiful music.
Well, that's awesome.
Maybe we'll play it for you out there someday.
Yeah, maybe
because we
someday.
care about you, the home listener.
Well, we're here to entertain, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
So you guys have a topic. You just had a job interview at a foot store, right?
It's like a sporting goods, hiking kind of deal.
Yeah. And even though I'm teaching you very valuable skills in the work you do for me, there was one specific reason you wanted to work there. And what was that reason?
Hot girls.
Hot girls.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, I guess.
Yep, we're in the valley of the fine women.
Yep.
Yeah, back up in college, it's just not the same.
Interesting. So at college, it's not as they're not as plentiful.
It's few and far.
Or is it because of your field of study, maybe? Because I know when I went into electronics, the first school I ever went to was in DeVry in Phoenix, and I think there was 2 girls and 100 guys.
That's what it feels like.
The odds were terrible. Yeah.
I'm getting too much.
You talk to us. You talk to the
the microphone
and the home listener.
Apologies. Still figuring this whole thing out.
Yeah.
So, any other topics? Where are you currently working, Hojo? In addition to working for me, where do you work? Yeah.
I work at a moving company right now.
Did you work for them while you were studying over the past school year?
Yep,
Okay, cool.
I've kept the job, and then since I'm at Boise State, now I'm back here. Luckily, I
They
was
have an outfit
fortunate
here,
enough,
too?
Yeah, they have
Oh,
the
that's-
home office is here,
That's great.
and so I just transferred up here, and I'll transfer back.
Perfect. That's awesome.
So you do that hard manual labor, and in addition to study, and so man, the energy of youth,
Yeah. I miss that.
The bounce
Boy, do
back
I
of
miss
youth.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
starting to feel it at a young age. It's not good.
Bowl.
Well, that's a tough job. It's a tough job,
It's
though, too.
rough, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I've never had to move a piano down the stairs till I came back home, though. People want pianos downstairs here, and I don't get it.
Yeah, that's where my ex-wife had her grandma's piano.
Yep, downstairs.
And I was so grateful that my ex-wife's mom had attached such sentimental value to that piano that she hired like 5 people just like you to come and move. I didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I just sat and watched them go through hell moving this thing.
Those
And it was a stand-up, one of the easier ones. I can imagine a grand piano would be.
The grands are the
are
worst.
ridiculous. Grands are. You can get a grand that's almost 2,000 pounds. It's
Man, it was-
That's crazy.
not enjoyable.
So you would need at least one other guy to move 2,000.
yeah, at least
No, just a really strong dolly is all I need.
Well, these 2 alone look like they could move.
They
half my
look like
house.
that's
They're-
true.
They're big. Daijo was a big football captain of a football team at a local high school, and I don't know, Hojo, did you play any ball?
Yeah, I was right underneath.
Okay.
Daijo here.
You want to put it a different way?
Yes, I do. Now that you brought it up, I would. He was captain, and I was on the bench.
I thought you were center.
No.
He was a quarterback. I was a center.
Yeah, I was right in second in lineup behind him.
Oh, so when he hurt his knee that year, did you get some playing time?
I got some playing time.
Oh, I see. Okay. You didn't get recruited by Boise, though? Or?
No,
So,
we got nowhere.
wow. So do you do any intramural sports up at school? Do you play lacrosse or, I don't know, ultimate frisbee or something to keep active up there?
Oh, well, I play some pickup, but it's mostly focused on the weightlifting because I'm going to try out wherever I end up transferring.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Good luck with that. That's
thank
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Hojo, how about you?
I did intramural bowling.
Nice. I was a big bowler back in my day.
I love
Talk to
bowling.
me about some bowling.
Man, I'll tell you what. I started out and my team was like, we might have to pick up bumpers for you because half the stuff you're rolling's going straight to the gutter.
All right, I just heard a knock on the door. We're going to wrap this up right about here. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and we will catch you in a little bit on our next segment.
Thanks for joining. Hojo Digel, thank you.
Thank you.